Hey everybody, it's Jesse. And the problem that we had yesterday, we were working on trying to send data to Wrike, which is our project management system, through the Wrike API from our React form. We couldn't get it to work. Well, now it works thanks to Kevin, who had a pull request. And I didn't check the times exactly, but I'm pretty sure that Kevin was able to get it working in less than 3 hours, which I think is pretty amazing. So just to put it in context, as maybe it'll help you see why I think this is so amazing. So when I was trying to get this to work months ago, using on the client side in the browser using jQuery, I probably worked on it for at least a week, maybe more, before I got it to work. And I had already been using Wrike, so I was familiar with it a little bit, not necessarily using their API, but Kevin was able from the time I ended the stream yesterday to the time of the pull request was about 3 hours. So he was actually able to set up an account with Wrike, a free account, get the API key, learn enough about the API to actually get it working all within a few hours. So anyway, just amazing. So if anybody out there is looking to hire a good developer, definitely recommend Kevin, because that was just super impressive. I mean, he's been really helpful throughout the entire project, but I was very impressed with that, especially since, like I said, I had so much trouble with it when I first started working with it. So I've only added on just a bit to what he had done. Today was actually, I had a meeting like literally as soon as I got here. I didn't even get into my office. I still had my laptop in my backpack and everything, and I just went straight to my meeting. And so I haven't, and then after that I was never really had a lot of time, a straight stretch of time to work on anything. So I haven't really gotten that much done. I was able to do a little bit, so I'll show you. We're starting to get a lot in the server.js file, which I think I had said that was going to happen. So it's starting to get a little bit hard to find everything. But let me see. Okay, here's the stuff where we're doing some things with Wrike. And I don't know what is going on. Sorry for my train of thought is just derailed, but it smells like, I don't know, like gasoline or exhaust from heavy machinery in my office right now, like really strongly. So there's construction going on in the parking lot. They're repaving everything, so there's a lot of equipment there. So maybe that's it, but it's really weird. Like I'm on the interior of the building, so it's not like I'm near a window or anything. So I don't know. If I pass out during this stream, then somebody call Franciscan University and tell them to come get me out of my office. Wow, it's just really strong. I'm gonna keep going because I just started the stream, but we'll see. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it goes away. I'm gonna actually turn a fan on just the lowest setting. So hopefully that's not too noisy for you all. Also do have the Instagram stream going, so I had some people stop in there. If you're watching on Instagram and you'd like to see the code on my screen that we're working on, please check it out on the freeCodeCamp YouTube channel. Okay, so here's what we're working with here. So obviously you can see what's been done. You can also check it out on GitHub. I've already merged in Kevin's pull request. if you check out the pull request, it was pull request 31. Yeah, so it was 31. So he provides an explanation of what the issue was and how he fixed that. Let's see. Patrick also helped out as well. So he had commented on the pull request, and so it was great work. There's also an issue going on right now that Sebastian had raised yesterday during the live stream, and then he actually opened up a detailed issue on the GitHub repo about the tests failing. So there's a pull request open right now, pull request 33, that is being worked on. So Sebastian and Kevin and Patrick are all trying to figure out what the issue is. So I haven't pulled it in yet because it's not. If we get it to a point where I think the problem is solved, then I'll pull it in. But for now, just know if you were getting some errors, like some timeout errors on the tests, that we might have a fix. And when I say we, I mean they, because they're really doing a great job on it. And I've been working a little bit on some other stuff on here. Okay, so let me just go through this quickly. Basically, this is pretty much what fixed things. So if you remember, we were trying to put this data in, same data pretty much. These things I added, and I'll explain those in a second. So with the exception of these two lines, all of this is from Kevin. So some things that he did have to change. He had to add this content type header, and then also had to encode these key value pairs. So if you want to see more of an explanation of this, like I said, check out the pull request. But that's where we're at now. So that's pretty much all that changed. And as far as what I did, so basically without these two lines, this makes a new folder in Wrike. But I needed to make a new project, which I don't even know if I said that yet. But Wrike has folders, projects, and tasks. So the highest level in the hierarchy is the project, and then within the project you can have multiple folders and multiple tasks and things. So I actually am not sure how it all works. So we use it as a department as a whole. We use Wrike to coordinate things at like a high level. For my projects, I use Trello. It seems like Wrike can do a lot more than Trello can, but I don't need that more. So it's easier for me to just do things really simply in Trello, since it's usually just me and you all working on the project. So anyway, to make a folder, I actually needed to, to make a project instead of a folder, all you need to do is add project and then assign it an owner ID. And I'm not going to show you the actual variables, but I'm going to change them just a bit. And then show you what, because I had to do a little bit of a strange thing to get it to work. So let me bring this over so that you all can see. Okay, so this is from my .env file. It's not my entire file, obviously, but these are what I added here, the share ID and owner ID. So you can see how I had to put it in. I actually needed to make this an array in quotes. Otherwise, it kept saying that it was invalid. And for this one, I had to make an object with owner IDs and then an array with the ID. That's the only way it would accept it. I actually attempted to put all this stuff in here and then just add the ID within it. It didn't work. So probably tried, I don't know, maybe 5 different combinations of ways to do this, and this was what ended up working. So if you are working with the Wrike API and you're having issues with this, this is how you have to do it. I do remember having similar issues when I tried to get this to work with Ajax on the client side, and so I just, for that, I think I had to do like some escaping of quotes and things like that, but basically this is the format that Wrike is looking for. So not sure if any of you are actually using Wrike or need to do this, but okay, so I just got some messages on my Instagram feed that they actually evacuated my building, but it looks like I see some people out in the hall. I think we're good. So evidently there was gas in the building. They did evacuate. Nobody seems in a hurry. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm sure if it's that big of a deal, somebody will knock on my door and maybe. We'll see. Actually, I'm gonna check the live chat now because I have, and I completely forgot to check the live chat. Let's see. Okay, I still had the live chat open from yesterday, so I was looking at the wrong one for a second. Let me close that. Okay, so, hey everybody. Oh, cool. Gavin says, hey, checking in from Jamaica. Awesome. And also says he's at day 5 in the series. All right, cool. You've I remember you said you were going to start at the beginning of the series, so you've caught up 5 days already, so that's great. Shyam says total newbie when it comes to React. That's cool. That's cool. I'm still. I think I'm still somewhat of a noob myself, so this is a good place. I'll try to explain as much as I can. Thanks. Shyam says that he'll call if I do pass out, so thanks. Okay, so Gavin says his tests are also failing locally. Okay, so it's, I mean, I'm not happy to hear that other people are having problems, but it's good to know that at least like it can be replicated, which is good because then we could probably narrow it down. All right. It looks like some people were coming back into the building. So maybe it'll be all right. Actually, hold on one second. I'm gonna ask what's going on.
You can
So
leave
what's
the
up?
building if you want, because there's like gasoline coming in.
So is it like we can leave if we want, or we have to leave?
We don't have to leave.
Okay.
They said it should dissipate pretty soon. We're
All right.
living on the roof
I
with this.
turned on the fan and I told the people watching me if I passed out to call Franciscan.
We were leaving
said they
comments
would.
on your Instagram telling
I
you
saw
like,
it. Yeah, I did. I saw it. I
evacuate,
saw it. Thanks
Don't
for that.
die.
Okay, so the evacuation is not mandatory, so I think I'm good. I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna keep streaming, and they said the I guess it's from gasoline. I'm not sure what's going on, but they said it should dissipate soon, so I'm slightly lightheaded right now, but also I've been feeling a little weird all day, like tired and stuff. So if you if you see me on the Instagram feed, I have like my eyes definitely look like I'm really tired. So anyway, yeah, I was up kind of late last night working on the React course that I'm taking, that Udacity course. You could actually do a lot of it on your phone, which is cool. So I was putting the kids to sleep and on my phone doing it, and then so I ended up just staying up and doing it, which is cool. I guess I'm learning Redux, which is awesome. But I had dreams about coding all night, and I actually had a coding nightmare. So I'll get to the coding. I'll tell the story. This will be the last thing before I actually get to the coding. So, I know some people are a little bit annoyed by the amount of talking I do. So I'll be done in a minute. But anyway, I had a coding nightmare that last site we worked on, the Catechetical Institute site, that I looked at the site and somehow they had managed to change it all and do the layout with tables. And they had like this weird inset border thing that just looked like it was straight out of like the 90s. And totally changed the colors, everything. The images were like all stretched and like not the right dimensions. And I was like, I was freaking out. So actually, my wife like was trying to get me to wake up anyway. So she like touched me and I just like jumped up and was like, wow, that was terrible. So I guess normal people have nightmares about like, I don't know, like scary things. Like, but I have nightmares about people changing my layout to using HTML tables. So anyway, it looks like, cool, there's some discussion going on in the live chat about those errors with the test, so that's awesome. So thanks for, like I said, I'll pull it in. I mean, I haven't been that involved with it, one, because I've never gotten any errors, so if I can't replicate the issue, I'm probably not really going to be able to contribute that much to fixing it. So also, it seems like Kevin and Patrick and Sebastian are getting to the bottom of it. It seems like you all are close. So, hey, not bad. I have a few people in the Instagram stream. That's cool. They're giving some love in Instagram, so thank you. All right, so let's do this. Let me tell you what we're going to try to do, and then we'll do it. So right now where we are is that when I hit the submit button, this does make a project in Wrike. And I would show you what's going on, but I don't want to show you all the stuff that's that my department is working on. Just there's probably nothing secret in there, but just in case somebody would get upset about me showing it, I don't want to do it. But basically, it is working. I was able to get a project made. What happens when the project gets made is that we get data back. And we get a bunch of data back. You can actually see what comes back here. So I can at least show you an example of what we get back. So this is the response that we get when we create a new folder or project. In this case, we are actually creating a project, but they send back pretty much the same thing either way. And what we really need is this ID. So this is the ID of the project. If we have this ID, then we can attach files to that project. So unfortunately, you can't attach the files at the same time that you send the initial data. So like all our form data we actually can send initially. But we have to wait until we get this ID back. So we're going to get the ID back, we're going to get this value, and then we're going to use that to attach our files. So we're going to check out attachments, and we want to create attachments. Yes. Okay, so we'll be using this folder. So there's not a separate URL for projects. They're, I guess, considered the same as folders. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure what the difference is really in Wrike, but I just know that the people that use Wrike a lot said that they would much rather have them be projects and not folders. So I made them projects. So we're going to do basically this. Obviously this is not in the format that we need to put it in, right? This is curl, but this is what we're going to do. Let's see. Usually they give, they say like what everything is that you need to put in the call. No, they're not doing it this time. Okay. Well, basically, we'll need the same thing. So we need our access token, like we're already doing, which no big deal. We're gonna give a file name, content type. And where are we getting? Oh, here we go. And then here's our attachment, content. So I've already done this with Ajax. So I'm going to show you all how I did it with Ajax, because that'll probably be way easier to read than this curl. I don't know about you, but like that's not really a format for me. If you're using Postman, you can actually copy and paste this and then convert it to whatever format you like. You could do that if you want, but since I've already done that before and converted it to be able to use it with Ajax, I'll just copy that over. So I do need to remove my API key from this, so just a second and I will do that. Okay. Okay, so this with Ajax accomplished what we needed. So the only thing, okay, so here's where that project ID goes. So in our URL, we just need to add to the end. Actually, not to the end, because then we still have this attachments here. So be folders, then the project ID / attachments. Okay, so we need to. Okay, in our headers, our bearer, obviously after bearer, this is where our API key goes. Okay, so I've removed that, but there needs to be an API key there. And then we just need to add these headers. And then our data is going to be, so I mean obviously this is a variable from what I'm doing on the current site. So let me see. I'm looking at the code on the other screen, and like I said, there's API keys in it, so I can't show you as well, but I'll try to bring over what I can. Oh. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this in exactly the same way as I did. So let me just show you how I was getting that. Alright, so wow, this pace over is so weird. Let me change this to, there we go. At least we'll get some syntax highlighting. So what I was doing to get the files, since this was all client side, I directly had access to the DOM elements, so I was getting the actual upload input, and then grabbing the files from that to make file list. So not really going to be able to do that. So I can't exactly do what I did before, but you get the idea of what we're going to try to do. So the first things first is we need to be able to get this ID from the response. Okay, so let's see. We already have an example of the response, which, let me go back to that. create folder. There we go. Okay, so this is what we need to grab. Inside data, we need to grab ID. So let's try to get that. And I've forgotten my timer, so let's do that as well. Alright, so right now we are getting, actually let me see, I'm gonna check the live chat because it looks like there's something in here that's definitely relevant. Okay, Kevin says it makes more sense in this case to get the attachment from the server. Yeah, well, I mean, we're already, we already have it in the server, and we're saving it. So I agree. Alright, so let me get this. I think that I will be able to show you the response. Let me check it really quick to make sure that my API key is not in there. Okay, yeah. I will be able to bring this over then. Oops. Accidentally made it smaller instead of bigger. So let me make this bigger so y'all can see. So this is currently what we're getting back. And that would be, scroll down. So where are we logging this? Probably down here. Okay, so here's where we do the Wrike folder. We're passing in what ends up being the name of the folder or project. Status console log. Okay, so we're logging it here. Alright, so I think this is what this is. Right? That's where we're logging, not this, but this part. Right, our status that we're getting back. Okay, Sebastian says, also you might want to limit the file types that people can upload. Yes, I'm definitely going to do that. So I'm going to keep saying that for myself so that I don't forget. And thank you for reminding me. So yeah, before any of this goes live, definitely need to make sure we do some things to limit what can be uploaded, or whatever. At the very least, we're going to limit what can be uploaded. I'd like to, whatever reasonable steps should be taken when you handle file uploads with Node, I would like to take those steps. So I may need to maybe I'll just do some research. I'm sure there's some stuff out there about it. But let's see for now. So I just want to see can I grab it like that? I don't know if that's gonna work. Let's see what we get. No, I'm not gonna be able to do it like that. Is that actually where we're getting it? That's weird. How did I crash? Oh, sorry. That was still, as like I talked about yesterday, I still have not done anything to fix the CORS errors that I was getting. And now what did I do? Oh, that's the one where I checked. Let me close that because we're definitely not going to use that. I'm not going to use this either. Alright, let me just use... What was I going to do? I think I decided I was just going to use Firefox. Getting errors still. Alright, it's not telling me what what the errors are. What did I do? What am I doing wrong? Yeah, okay, it should have started. Yeah, it should have started it. Let me start server. Oh, okay. Oh. Syntax error. What did I do? Oh, it's because I tried to console log and I forgot to put a plus. All that because I forgot to put a plus sign. Oh well. Template literals have spoiled me. I don't remember to put the plus sign in. Okay. Now let's see what happens. Okay, so that in fact is exactly what we want. All right, let me check. I'm gonna check the live chat. Oh, okay. Thanks, Kevin. I should have checked the live chat about 6 minutes ago. I could have avoided some of this. Okay, so the status right now is coming in as a string. That's that's why. Um, so basically, we're right here. See, it says text. So just wasn't thinking. So I need to change it. It's a JSON, and now let's see what we're getting. So where are we at? Let's try this. Data .id. Let's see what we get. There we go. Here's what we need. Alright, great. So I can't believe it took what, like 10 minutes to get to that point. I mean, most of that was spent trying to figure out how I messed up the server. But anyway, this is what we needed. Alright, so we have the ID that we need. I can get rid of this. I'm trying to think if there's value in keeping the rest of the status. I really have no need of anything else in that status right now. So I guess I'm okay with just pulling out this ID. Okay, there were a few other things about the server in the live chat, so let me scan through that quickly. Okay, Patrick says you can set the accepts property input on the front end, so like in the browser client side, but you should also check on the back end to prevent people from getting around it. Yeah, for sure. So actually, if you've never worked with file upload inputs before, that's a really good point. So basically, you can set on the input itself what you want it to be able to accept, but people can get around that. So I guess like really easily, and I don't know, maybe you've done this before, like you can just inspect something in DevTools and then change the HTML, and it'll change the way that field functions. So a good example of this is like a password field. So if you have a password in the password field, let's say like you don't remember what the password was, you can just go into DevTools, take out password as the type of input, and then all of a sudden you'll be able to see the string instead of those little dots. So a similar thing could happen. So basically, doing client-side checking of what the files are and restricting the files is not enough, because you can get around it easily. So you want to do something on the server side as well. So ideally you do both, because you do it on the client side so that immediately the user gets feedback that, hey, you can't upload that. Otherwise, they try to upload it, and depending on how you set it up, potentially they might not even have any idea that that file type is wrong. So you do it on the client side, basically. I mean, it's pretty much for user experience, because people can get around it if they really want to. And then on the server side, that's where you're checking things, and that's more for security. The user never sees that; they don't even have to know about it. But that's where you really want to make sure that you're not gonna like execute a file that is going to mess up your server. So yeah, that's my lesson on security today. Oh, okay. So Patrick is giving me some advice here about how I can make the server work. Alright, so let me try this out. So what? How is my permission denied? You gotta be kidding me. Oh well, whatever. Okay, so let's. I'll worry about the server later, I guess. Not really a big deal. Like right now, it's doing what I need it to do for what we're working on right now. Okay, okay, so just trying to remember where we were. All right, so we have our ID. Next step is send the files based on that ID. So we need to, basically, we're gonna add another one of these, and so I'm gonna copy this because a lot of it's going to be the same. So we're going to take in. Actually, we're gonna take in two things, right? Yeah. So we need. Let me think. We need the ID, obviously, but then we also need the files. And let me see how are we getting this file object. Okay. Alright, we'll just give it the file. So we don't need, let's see what we don't need. So in our body, Basically, we don't need any of this stuff. We need just the files. And okay, post is fine. This is the same. Content type is going to be, oh, do we have to loop through this? Let me check. It just occurred to me that I may only be able to send one file at a time, so I'll have to loop through the files and keep sending the requests. So, I mean, that'll only change slightly how we do it. Yeah, that actually won't be a huge deal. So, I guess then within actually, within here might not be a bad place. I mean, right now all we're doing is just console logging whatever the files are. So that we'll still console log just to make sure that it's working. But within here, we could probably call like add attachments, and we're gonna need. Actually, we're gonna need that ID. I gotta be careful the order here. So we're not actually. What are we doing? This form on end. So within the on end, we're making that first call to Wrike, and then we're getting the data back, and then after that is when we want to send the file. Otherwise, we're not going to have the right ID. So this is not the place to do it then. Oops, where was it? Here. Yeah, not the place to do it. But I still need. I wonder. Alright, I have a few ideas. I don't think the first one will work. Let me tell you what a few of my ideas are, and then I'll give everyone a minute if let me know if you think they'll work or not. So the first idea is I just do this form on file function, and I put that down here. So after we get the status back, just run that down here. I'm thinking, hey, if that works, that's great. I'm just not sure if it'll work if I put it in here, but we'll see. That's probably the simplest thing. The alternative would be inside of this right here where it currently is. I save the files. Yeah, so I'll save the files to a variable here, and then just use that down here and pass that along with the ID. I mean, obviously, like within a loop, like I'm gonna have to call that multiple times. Yeah. Okay, so those are my two ideas. I guess I'll give you a minute to respond to that. But the first one would be so easy to test. I'm just gonna do that. So I'm gonna copy and paste this and. I'm just going to put 2 there so I don't mix it up. Alright, so basically all I'm looking to see is, do I get anything there? Let's see, well, we need to upload a few things. So let's upload 3 files, so we should that should be called 3 times. And upload. No, it doesn't. No, so from right here, so we had it. It ran the first time, and it did not run the second time. Okay, so for whatever reason, that does not run in here. So, I mean, we could try to make that work or move on to the second one. My time is up for the Pomodoro session, so I am going to take 5 minutes and go back to the live chat. So for now, I'm looking way at the bottom just to see what you all have to say about what I was just doing, and then if I have time, I'll scroll up and see if there's any questions. Okay, Kevin says loop inside the then of the Wrike make folder. Okay. So he's saying loop inside this then, correct? Which is what we're gonna try to do. Okay. Kevin says it didn't work because we would be listening for files after the request was already parsed. So since we were trying to do this and listen for files inside this on end, right? It's already ended. It's already been parsed. So nothing's happening at this point. So of course it's not going to pick up on that. So this then is definitely not going to work. So let me just remove that and we'll have to move on to plan B. Alright, Rohan's here. Hey Rohan, how's it going? Rohan asked, what did I miss? Basically, we're able to go from our server.js file and then on form submit make a new project in Wrike, and then we get back the ID of that project, and we can take the ID now, and we're going to attempt to use that ID to send files and attach them one by one to that particular project. Okay, I'm scanning really quickly to see if there are any questions that I missed. Trick by SS asks, can you tell me how to group content in HTML with div and span properly? So, not sure if you're still watching because that was asked quite a while ago. But if you are, I mean, I would say properly. I don't know that there's a proper way to do it. It depends on what framework you're using and what you're trying to accomplish in terms of what divs and spans you use. Generally, most of what you do is going to be in divs. You know, your spans are more like short blocks of content, like within, like if you had a paragraph, for instance, and one line of that paragraph, or even a few words, you wanted to add some special styling to, that would be a good place to use a span. But if you had larger chunks of content, then you might want to use a div. Generally, that's how they're used. If you're using a framework, like, and by framework I mean like Bootstrap, Foundation, Materialize, they're going to have set out how they manage the layout of the page, and they're usually with a div structure. So a lot of how you do your divs is going to be based on what that framework has already laid out. Okay, so if you're doing it from scratch and you're doing everything, I mean, you can lay out your divs however you'd like. But like I said, in general, if it's inline, like within, you know, a paragraph, spans work well. You know, a small piece of content. Otherwise, divs are usually used, you know, for major layout things. If you were trying to make like some cards on the page, those would be divs. Hopefully I answered the question. Like I said, not sure if you're even watching still, but maybe it'll be helpful to someone. But anymore, I always use some sort of CSS framework, so the structure of the divs is basically already decided. Gavin, I just saw the comment. You said it sounds weird hearing my voice at normal speed because you've been catching up. It always sounds weird when I hear my own voice on these things, so probably it doesn't matter what speed it is. It's always weird. Okay, so my timer's up. I did get about halfway through checking the questions, so I'll go back up. We'll do another Pomodoro session here, and then I'll answer some questions. So, hey, Mark's here. Hey, how's it going? You still still at the new job? Is it going well? Let me know. I haven't heard about it in a while. All right, so it looks like cool. Kevin has put some code in the live chat that will most likely do what we're trying to do here. Let's see. Kevin always has good code, so I'm confident that, assuming that I can paste this in the right spot, it will work. So let me just paste this. It's really hard to like read out code, so let me paste this in here so y'all can see what I'm seeing. Alright, so basically, okay, so pretty much what we were, basically this is the code to make like Plan B work. So we have a files, we're files, and we're going to save the files to this, so then we can access it later on, even within this form on end. And yeah, and then we leave this where it is, right? Because it won't work otherwise. All right, so I'll put it up here. At some point, I'll probably remove this because I won't need to console log the files, but it'll be good for troubleshooting to leave it in, at least for now. Okay, files, file. Probably actually don't need the name in there, but I'll leave it in for now. Okay, so same thing that's going on here, except instead of console logging, we are adding the files to this array. So files push file, right? Okay, then since we'll have all the files in this array, when we get down to here, we can, where are we at? Okay, yeah, down to here. So when we get down to here, we will have gotten the ID back, right? So we can get the ID from here, and then we can call our function that's going to attach the file, but we will want to loop over that. Right? Yes. Okay. So what do we have? Files. You just called it files, right? Can we do map on this? I know I was confused a couple days ago about trying to use map on things that you shouldn't use map on, but it's an array, right? So we can use map. So file, and we are going to add attachments, and it's going to be ID and file, right? Alright, so now up here, oops. Alright, here we go. Yeah, okay. That's the right order for now. Let me get rid of this, and I just want to so I should be able to get the file name out of that. So let's make sure that this works. ID is not defined. Oh. I'm sure you've already seen the mistake that I made, but what I just used ID and instead of actually getting the ID here. So what I need is this. There we go. Now let's give it a shot. Oops, file is not defined. Oops. Oh, because I was saying files, and we're not sending files. We're only sending one file at a time. So better to name it file anyway. Okay. There we go. Okay, awesome. So it's working in the sense that it is calling it the correct number of times for each file, and we're getting data on a different file each time. So in this case, we just console log the name, but we have, the whole object there. It is correctly giving us the ID as well. Great. So that's what we need to work with. Now we just need to use the right format to send this. I forgot to start that again. Awesome. So I commented out this bit here. Also, we'll probably, we're not going to want to run this like if there's no, if there are no files, so probably want to check first to see if there's a file, but for now I'm not worried about that. I just want to get it to work, and then I can check. Okay, so I had started to put in what I needed here, and then I don't know what got me sidetracked, but I dropped down and started doing some things down below there. So now we need to, okay, so we're not going to send files anymore, we just want the one file. So in the background, my music today is some really like mellow jazz. It's the Coffee Table Jazz station on Spotify. So you have to let me know. Do I seem like more relaxed and mellow? Am I coding better than normal or not? Usually I listen to way more upbeat music, like electronic music and stuff. So I'm kind of interested to see what effect different types of music have on my coding. Not really very scientific. Can't really keep all the factors the same from each time I code, but we'll see. Oh, okay, so Kevin said it's fine to not check for their files because if there are no files, the loop would just run 0 times. Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. All right. Wow, we have actually a really low viewer count today. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe I am like really boring today because I'm too mellow because I'm listening to the jazz. Anyway, I'm not really sure what causes people to view or not view. Some days there's a lot of people and some days there's not, and I'm doing the same thing pretty much every day. Alright, so we need, here on the other side, this is what we need. So let's add in headers, content type. What do we need? Just like this. Oops. File name, and we can get file.name and content type. Oh, now I remember why I went down, because when I looked at this and these two, I realized, oh, we're only sending one file at a time, and that's when then I started thinking about how we can get one file at a time. Okay. Content type. Oops. I think that's what it is. We'll find out. And then Awesome. And okay, so instead of data, we have body. Okay, and file will work. All right, so this looks. Oh, we need the URL to be different. So I need the ID in there. So I'm not gonna use an environment variable. I'm going to use a template literal, and we'll get the ID, and then attachments, right? Great. Alright, that should be enough. Actually, I'm not really sure if I need these. We'll try it without it, but I guess we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so when we hit submit this time, it should create a project in Wrike with the title of test. It's not going to have any data in there because we're not actually putting any data in there right now. It might have, actually, it'll just say folder description as the body of the project. We'll get the ID back, and then it will add. Probably we'll just do the same 3 image files. Will get added to that, and I will verify that on my other screen where I have Wrike open. So I'll be, oh man, we actually just made a ton of test folders, so I bet our project manager is wondering what's going on. So anyway, let me delete quickly all the test folders we have now, so I don't have to search through them to find which one is the one we want to look at. There's no batch delete option, and that's unfortunate because I have a lot of tests in here. So I guess Wrike recently came out with a desktop app, which is kind of cool, but also not really great, because I had thought that one of the first desktop apps that I would try to make once I finally learned how to make desktop apps with React would be a Wrike desktop client for my department, but they already beat me to it, so I guess it's cool. Either way, we have it. I just thought it would be cool to do. But anyway, let's give this a try now. So I've deleted out all the other tests that we've made. Whoa, what crashed? What did I do? Oops, I put... At least I remembered to check this time. Alright. Is it gonna work? ID is not defined. Where? Oh. Why is ID not defined? We're getting ID. Okay, that's why. Alright, let's give it a shot. Alright, so I've seen the project has been created, and awesome. Let me see. Did the file go through? Oh no. Okay, so the project was created, the correct file names came through, but when I try to click on them, it says the file appears to be invalid or broken. Sorry, we can't load it. So I did something wrong, but so here's what we know is working, which the good news is we know that it is actually getting the ID back, and it's sending, in this case, 3 requests. So it's sending a request for each file that we've uploaded, which is great. The correct file name is getting there. The only thing is the file itself is not working, which I didn't really check what. Let's see. What was file name, file type? So I'm sending file list. Okay, I'm not sure why that happened. Let's take a look. So we're getting the file. Oops. So let's scroll down here. Okay, so here's where we're getting the files from. On file. Okay, so we're getting the files here. All right, let me check the live chat and see what you all think. Oh, okay. Patrick says 4 each would be more appropriate. Okay, cool. I'll change that to 4 each. Rohan says, I need upbeat / EDM or something similar for me to get to do anything. Yeah, this morning, I don't know what it was. I was listening to some like really upbeat electronic music, and I don't know, I was just feeling weird and was feeling like, I don't know, like a little bit like I was getting a headache and I couldn't focus. And I thought, like, I don't know, like maybe I just need to chill a little bit. So I did. So I relaxed a little bit. I put my feet up on my desk and just listened to some jazz for a bit, and I started feeling better. So that's why I went with it. But like probably 95% of the time, I do listen to upbeat music. Oh. Okay, Kevin, I just saw your message about the content type. Is that what's messing this up? Actually, that makes sense. Maybe the content type is doing that. So what? Maybe this isn't where I need to get. Let's see, file type. No, actually, that is it. It is dot type. That's what I need. It's twice. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Good, good eye there. Okay, cool. I'm actually really happy about that, because that was probably our problem, and otherwise I was a little bit at a loss as to what the issue could be. All right, let's give it another shot. Okay. No errors. Let's check it out. Actually, I got the same problem as I did the last time. Does the order matter here? I'm not sure if the order matters, but I guess when I did it over here, where did I have it at? No, I had it here, so it shouldn't matter. Alright, let's think what's going on. I just want to see what we're actually getting when we do this. Okay, that seems like the right type, right? Try content type application notation. Okay, let's try. Okay, so let's check out. So in the example, we're using, oops, this is not it. In the example, it's using this as the content type. So let's give that a shot. Same thing, same issue. Okay, so I actually downloaded the file from Wrike just to see what would happen. So yeah, it won't. Maybe damage. Use a file format preview doesn't recognize. Okay. Let's see. Okay, right now I'm just kind of looking over the code, seeing if I can see something, think of something that we're missing here. I wonder if they're looking for something like we had done before. So actually, no, we didn't end up doing that. I'm sorry. I was thinking about one of the possible solutions to this, and I think what I was thinking of ended up not working anyway. Alright, well, we got pretty far without hitting a really serious issue, so it's not bad. I do want to see what time it is. Yeah, I want to get this working, so this stream may end up being a bit long, but I have an appointment at 5 p.m., which is, it's Eastern time, so I can definitely go for probably another hour. So let's give this issue like a half hour, and that would leave a half hour for questions. Probably won't need that long, but you never know. Maybe we'll need it. And I say that just because there's not a whole lot of viewers right now. So let's try. Anyway, so we got about a half hour. About another. We'll do one more Pomodoro session to work on this problem. We'll take our 5 minutes to do a little some questions, some catch up in the live chat. I'm just going through right now, making sure I didn't misspell anything. Okay. Okay, just checking to see like the files that we are getting are being uploaded and they work. So it's something's happening when we transfer the files then. Alright. Well, yeah, I figured that was supposed to be out. Alright, so now's a good time to take a break. Usually when I get stuck like this, if I do take a little break, usually I'll get some idea, at least something new to try. So I'm going to go back to the live chat. I'm going to scroll up to where I left off at before and try to get to any questions or see if I missed anything. And then in 5 minutes, we'll go back to this problem. At this point, honestly, I don't have any ideas for what to try next, so hopefully I think of something. Oh, we got a few more viewers. It was actually, we were down to 16 viewers I saw at one point, which is crazy. We're never that low. So I don't know what's going on. The only times we've been this low before is once the YouTube notifications weren't, it just people didn't get them. A lot of people didn't get them. And then the other time I was trying to stream during some big tech conference, and the tech conference was live streaming, and I didn't realize it. So other than that, we usually have more people than this. Alright, where'd I leave off? Okay. Alright, see, there's still a lot of discussion about those errors. Okay, cool. So it looks like Gavin was able to get the test to pass. So that's cool. Good to hear that. Okay, Patrick and Rohan, I see everything you're saying about trying to get the localhost 3000 to work. So like I said, I'll try that out later on today or maybe early tomorrow. Now I see how many times you all were trying to tell me to that I had content type in there twice. Sorry I didn't look over and see that. Thanks for continuing to try to remind me about that. Oh, okay. Joseph said that actually works. So basically, the way that we're doing it up here worked for you and Postman. So I wonder what's going on now. Hey, John Hansen said, finally I caved and installed Create React app. So over the last I don't even know how long John's been working with React, but trying to set up React and Webpack and everything from scratch. So he finally went with Create React app, which if you're not familiar with that lets you kind of bootstrap React project and get started without having to know anything about Webpack. So, all right, cool. Let me know how it goes then. At least you can get started and start doing React stuff and not worrying about your build. Oh, okay. John Hansen said that he got his YouTube notification exactly on time. So maybe it's not the YouTube stuff. Uh, who knows what it is? Let's see. Oh wow. Okay, so Patrick's YouTube notifications haven't been on time in a month. Sometimes he gets notified the next day. Wow, that's crazy. Uh, Kayvon, I'm not sure how to pronounce that exactly, like what syllable to put the emphasis on. But I'm gonna say Kevon, and then because we have a Kevin, so I'm gonna try to differentiate that. But is asking if I use Redux. So I did not use Redux for this project, but probably be using Redux in a future project because I'm learning it right now. So I'm taking a course from Udacity on Redux. So I was working on it earlier today on my lunch break. So Redux will be coming most likely as soon as I get done with this course and I get a project where it would make sense to use Redux. Okay, so that was, I've gotten to the end of the live chat, and I've also gotten to the end of that break. So let's give it one more Pomodoro cycle and give it a shot. Try to get this to work, and we'll see. So basically, like, everything is working just how we want it. I mean, we got, obviously we need to fine tune things before this would be ready to go, in a live situation. But basically everything's working except the files won't go through properly. It's in terms of, like, it won't open. We get the file name, it shows up as if it's a file, but when you click on it, it says the file appears to be invalid or broken. So let's try, I'd like to try maybe, let's just try a different file type. So I have this XCF file. Let's see if that works. And actually, that's weird. That did not go through at all. Let me try that again. Let's refresh. Try one more time. That's odd. It's actually it is creating, when I do that, it's creating new projects, but it's trying to add those three. There we go. Finally, for some reason, when I tried that the first two times, it was trying to add the same three files again. Really weird. Alright, so let's see. It looks like it did the same thing for this as well. I'm gonna download it and open it up just to be sure. Oh, there we go. And it said it cannot open the image. Alright, so it definitely doesn't matter what type it is. Alright, so I guess now it's time to do a little bit of research then. And let me see. Maybe I could try. Either Stack Overflow, or we're gonna go to MDN's documentation on files. Let's see. Okay, got some stuff. So that's a good sign. Let's see, I'll pull this over and bring it up. Alright, let's see this. So nothing obviously with Wrike API. Alright, so I got a few up here. Let's see what's going on. Alright, a lot of +1s for this. Let's see. It doesn't seem to be fixed. Alright, let's try another one. I'm not sure if that one ever got fixed. Attach. Okay, so we are using SendGrid, and our files actually might not. Maybe we can try. I don't want to try it right now, but if we can't figure anything else out, maybe we could try to send the file as an attachment to our emails that we're sending through SendGrid, and see if we can get it to work through there. Maybe that. I mean, at least maybe we could rule some things out, maybe. But let's see, what are they doing? Alright, that's not going to be helpful. Alright, I'm not sure. Okay, so image file's broken. Okay, not really anything there that's useful. Okay, no, no answers for that one. All right, let me check in the live chat here. Looks like there's a few things. Okay, so Kevin, I see your comments. Let's try them out. So we're gonna try to do some debugging. Debugging, run the curl example with Okay. All right. All right. Let's see what we're getting then. That's odd. Which should it be? Oh, I guess it's close enough. I was thrown off by the type Wrike, but I guess that's what it's supposed to be. Okay, so Kevin says formidable files don't appear to be node buffers, which node fetch handles well. So maybe reading the file directly from the path with fs read file to get an actual buffer. Okay. So let's see. I'm gonna need some help. So let's see where fs read file. So where am I gonna do? Where am I gonna put fs.read file? Are we talking like where we? Let's see. Where am I doing this? Somewhere in here, where we're grabbing the files. The project manager just sent me a message on Slack and said, "Dude, I'm getting like a test email every minute from you." Yes, it is happening. Okay, so let's try to put fs. Okay, so can I do something like this on this file before we send it over, or do I need to put it higher up? Alright, is this what we're talking? Is this what we're talking about here? Okay. Not there. Oh, actually, so Patrick had a good idea that I could just set up a free Wrike account to use for testing. Then I can show you all what's going on, and I won't spam everyone else with this stuff. That's a great idea. She was excited though when I told her I'm working on the new version of the Resource Center. So don't think it's that big of a deal. But it would be cool to be able to show you what it looks like. Oh, okay, let's see. Path join, upload directory file. Oops. Alright, so Patrick said path join upload directory file. Where? Alright, so I see Kevin and Patrick are putting some code in the live chat for me, but alright, so I'm a little bit confused. Let me paste this up here so everyone can see. I'll get rid of this stuff. Alright, so Kevin has posted this, and Patrick this. And I'll have to wait a minute. There's a delay on the video, so I'll have to wait a second to get a response here. So so I could put this in. Okay, John Hansen said, I'm confused too. Thanks for saying that, John. It makes me feel better I'm not the only one. That's confused. Yeah, Kevin and Patrick, you guys are awesome, and so I don't. You're just like, both of you are so knowledgeable, and I think you're just like steps ahead of me all the time. So it takes me a minute or two to catch up and figure out where you all are at. Okay, so it looks like we have a better way then to do this. So let me show you the latest. Okay, so fs read file, path join upload directory, file name, error buffer. So this is going to go then where? In here? Or do I need to put this inside here instead of file.name? Okay, Patch said inside the files.map, which should be files.forEach. Okay, yeah, I never changed the for each, so for each, how do we do this? Is it file of, is it of files? Is it file of files or file in files? I can't remember which one it is. We'll see. We'll see if it works. Okay, it is in. Alright. Thanks, Rohan. And I don't know. I don't smell the gas anymore in here, but I'm definitely feeling lightheaded. So maybe I'm just used to it and I can't even smell it anymore. Oh, okay, cool. Patrick says I can just do files dot, or, yeah, where am I at? Files dot for each. And then I can just go file. Oh, that's cool. Alright, so now I'm going to put that in here and then get rid of this portion of it and this portion for that matter. Yeah. Okay. That's where it needs to be. Great. Okay, so we have files for each. Fs, read file. Alright, I think this is what you are trying to tell me. So let me just check this out for a second. If error throw Wrike attachment. Okay, so instead of the file, we're sending this buffer. All right. Okay, so we need the file name header, okay, so that's not, I can't get the name anymore from that, so maybe I should just pass in, I mean, I know I can get it on the object, so I guess I could pass in name and type, right? Oh, this is a good sign. Look at that file size. I'm feeling good about this one. Let's check it out. Maybe, let's see. I'm trying to find which one is the right one because they're all just named test. There we go. All right. It works. Yay. Let me see. I can show you. I'll show you a little bit of it. Basically, I'll just zoom in and hide all the stuff that I'm not sure whether or not I should show. Just because it's exciting that it finally worked. So, here we go. Check it out. So, anyway, Liz, sorry I'm putting your name out on YouTube. But there we go. There's our files, and there's our project test folder description here, and our files. So, just in time, this just went off right after we got it to work. So that's awesome. I'm excited. I'm happy. Let's just really quick kind of go over what we did that made it work. And definitely thanks to Patrick and Kevin for figuring this one out, because I had obviously tried everything that I could think of at the moment. So let's go. So basically what we did different then was, instead of sending, whatever this file was that we were sending, and we used fs.readFile, and we're able to get the buffer and put that in there. So I'm not familiar with this fs read file. I'm not familiar enough to explain in any more depth than that why it worked, but just saying, if you're trying to use a similar setup, which sometimes people are, sometimes I get messages from people that say like that they've cloned my repo and then they're modifying it and using it for their project. So if you're trying to do something similar, this is the fix. Probably want to read up more on exactly what's going on here, So like I said, I'm not going to attempt to explain it because I don't know enough to feel comfortable explaining how this works because I've never used it. But that was the solution, and awesome. Yeah, there's some celebrating going on there in the live chat. So yeah, really awesome. It's great whenever we can get things working, figure it out. So alright, so I'm going to go now and do some question and answer here in a minute. So if you're just here for the code, that portion is done. Otherwise, if you want to stick around for question and answers, put your questions in the live chat now, and I'll try to answer them. You could also ask me questions on any social media channels, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I will say this, I'm a little bit behind on the YouTube comments on getting to them all, so I've just been obviously really busy between work and then some side project work that I have for clients and the Udacity course, and then my wife and 4 kids. It's pretty busy. So I try to get to the comments. I've seen some of them and just not really had time to give you a good answer, so I'm not ignoring you, so if you're waiting on me to reply to a comment, I'll try to get to it whenever I can. So, anyway, before I get to the questions, just quick recap of where we are and where we need to go. So from this point, we can get data from our form. That data can then get emailed. It can get sent to a project management system along with the file uploads. Our file uploads are also getting saved to our uploads folder. So what we need to do then is actually send the data that a user uploads through the form. Okay, so from all those text inputs and checkboxes. Okay, so we need to send that, format it in a way that's somewhat decent so that it shows up in a readable way in our project management system in our emails, and then we need to put some sort of security measures in place to limit what gets uploaded, what type of files get uploaded. Probably want to limit the size of the uploads as well. It, I suppose, could get crazy if we get a really huge, people trying to upload a lot of really huge files. So probably want to do a limit on the number of files that can be uploaded at any one time, and also the size that any one file can be. Let me think. And I guess that's it for the form. The only other thing we had talked about doing that I'm still not sure about is having some sort of database to store this data, or possibly sending at least the data from the text fields and checkboxes to a Google Sheet just to have a backup somewhere. So still not sure about those. May or may not happen. We'll see. And then other than that, we do have one other form that's going to be a very simple form to deal with. No file uploads, just a few text fields. And we just have some UI stuff, some basic things. Probably the only difficult, I won't even say difficult, the most difficult thing that we'll have to deal with after this is our images, because we're going to want, you'll see, I'll show you in an upcoming stream, but our images are using Isotope. So I don't know if you ever worked with Isotope before, but a JavaScript library that's called Isotope, and I can't remember if it depends on jQuery or not. So we'll see, but we'll try to do something similar with React and see what we can get. Alright, so now I'm going to go to the live chat, and let's see, Yang Jian Zhao says, I'm new here, it seems like I'm at the end. Hi. Yeah, you are at the end, so yeah, sorry about that, but you will, yeah, as Umberto says, you'll be able to see the recording. So, yeah, thanks for joining in though, and thanks for saying hi in the live chat. Hopefully, you can make a live stream in the future at some point. Oh, okay. So I have. Okay, so oh, okay. Danny's here. Danny says, "Thanks for answering my questions on Instagram. Awesome. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Yeah, as I say, I'm on lots of different social media things, and I'm happy to answer whatever questions and things uh, that you have. Let's see. Shi Jun says hi. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining in. So I'm gonna scroll up a bit. I did get through most of the live chat already, so I won't have to scroll up too much. But I want to just double check, make sure I didn't miss any questions. Okay, Umberto has some a helpful tip here. It says one small editor thing that I use a lot in Visual Studio that works in Atom too, just different keystroke. If you want to move blocks of code up or down, select the lines and push Control arrow keys instead of cut and paste. Okay, cool. Actually, I'm gonna try that. So I don't know if you gave me the keystrokes to do it in Visual Studio or in Atom, but I'm gonna try it. So Control arrow keys. Alright, that didn't work. Let's try Command. No. Okay, so different. Yeah, different in Atom. So I'll have to see what it is in Atom, but that actually will be helpful to me. So thank you for that. Let's see. Billion says, you sound like Rami Malek. That's cool. I've never had anybody say that before, but I'll take it. I like him. Umberto says, I love Mr. Robot. Yeah, so Rami Malek is the actor that plays the lead character on the show Mr. Robot. So I watched season 1 and then a few episodes into season 2. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was really interesting, just I don't know, to hear about all like the different like hacker stuff and how they do things. So it's pretty interesting. Although I haven't seen anybody that's watched after like basically from the end of season 1 on. Is it still good? Like, should I try to watch the second season then? I mean, season 1 is pretty good. Oh, okay. So maybe it's different on a Mac to do. Let's see. Let me try it again. Yeah, no, I tried Command. I tried Control. Yeah, wow, Control's doing crazy stuff on my other screens. Let's try Option. No, not Option. Shift. No. Yeah, not really sure. It's probably some combination. Command. Alright, Command Control. Oh, cool. Joseph, awesome, thank you. Joseph came through with the correct. So if you want to do this, which actually looks really cool now that I'm doing it, on a Mac, on Atom, on a Mac, you use Command Control and then your up and down arrow keys. That's really cool. I like that. And for a single line, you don't need to select anything. Yeah, let's try that. Oh, nice. Check that out. Don't even have to select. So that came from Kevin. Thanks, Kevin. That's really cool. All right, Rohan says season 2 of Mr. Robot is good. All right, awesome. So it is just season 2. Season 3, have they had a season 3 yet? All right. Well, I've gotten to the end of the live chat. This has been over a 2-hour stream, so I'd say now is a decent place to stop. Okay, cool. I guess season 3 of Mr. Robot's coming out in October. All right, cool. Good to know. I'll have to check it out and see. The last time I checked on Amazon Prime Video, they only had season 1, but maybe they'll have season 2 soon since season 3 is coming up. But I think that's about it for today. I'm actually pretty exhausted. I don't know if it's all the gas fumes that I've breathed in today. If you're confused by that, watch the beginning of the show. Or just in general being tired or exhausted from all the code. But it was pretty cool. We definitely accomplished what we wanted to accomplish today, thanks to your help. So tomorrow, I'm not exactly sure what we'll be doing tomorrow, whether we'll try to polish this a little bit more or move on to something different. We'll see. But thank you so much for watching and for all the help in the live chat. I really appreciate that. I will be back tomorrow and probably same time. I haven't checked my schedule yet, but probably 2 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll work on this a little bit more. So until then, have a great day.